Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your reaction surprised even you? Maybe you snapped at someone over something trivial or felt an inexplicable wave of anxiety in a safe environment. It's unsettling to realize that much of what we think and feel might not be as conscious as we believe. What if our emotions and reactions are often shaped by invisible forces we don't fully understand? Our nervous system, the often overlooked driver of our experiences, is at the heart of this dynamic. It influences our perceptions, responses, and even the way we view ourselves and others, sometimes in ways that feel beyond our control. This video explores the fascinating interplay between trauma, the nervous system, and emotional patterns, and how understanding these mechanisms can empower us to create lasting change. In this video, you'll learn how trauma influences your perceptions and responses even when it's not catastrophic, why the nervous system operates like a reactive system, prioritizing safety above all else, how emotional experiences plant unconscious seeds that shape future behaviors, the ways fight or flight instincts can dominate or disrupt your sense of well-being, and why intentional awareness is the first step to rewiring outdated patterns. Let's dive deeper into how these forces shape your internal world. When most people think of trauma, they imagine life-altering events like accidents, abuse, or loss. But trauma exists on a spectrum. Everyday experiences, being scolded as a child, feeling rejected, or even persistent stress can leave subtle yet profound imprints on the nervous system. These imprints act as a kind of blueprint influencing how you interpret situations and respond to emotional triggers. The nervous system functions as a reactive operating system, always scanning for threats. It doesn't differentiate between a genuine life-threatening danger and a perceived slight from a coworker. If an earlier experience of rejection felt intense or overwhelming, the nervous system might overreact to similar situations in the future, reinforcing feelings of fear, defensiveness, or inadequacy. These responses aren't conscious choices, they're deeply ingrained survival strategies. Think of emotionally charged experiences as seeds planted in the soil of your unconscious mind. Over time, these seeds grow into trees, behavioral patterns that shape your actions, beliefs, and relationships. For instance, if a child learns to associate comfort with sweets after a bad day, this emotional association might grow into a habit of stress eating as an adult. The nervous system is like a gardener tending to these trees, reinforcing patterns through repetition. Every time a similar situation arises, the nervous system reacts the same way, making the pattern stronger. These repeated responses can feel automatic, like muscle memory, and over time they influence how we see the world and ourselves. At its core, the nervous system operates in binary, survival or safety. In survival mode, the fight or flight response takes over, flooding the body with stress hormones to prepare for action. While this is essential in true danger, it can become a default mode when the nervous system perceives non-threatening situations like public speaking or a disagreement as life-threatening. Conversely, the rest and digest mode is the state where healing, connection, and creativity flourish. But for many people, this state is elusive, overshadowed by an overactive survival response. The constant toggling between these two states creates a roller coaster of emotional experiences, often leaving individuals feeling exhausted or stuck. What makes this dynamic even more complex is that the nervous system isn't perfectly rational. It relies on outdated coding, interpreting modern challenges through the lens of past experiences. For example, a harsh critique from a boss might trigger the same internal reaction as being reprimanded as a child, even if the situations are vastly different. While these patterns may feel permanent, they're not. The nervous system is malleable, capable of change through intentional focus and awareness. When you understand that the nervous system operates on automatic responses, you can begin to reframe how you interpret emotional triggers. Reframing doesn't erase the past, but it does change its influence. By shifting the perception of a painful experience, viewing it as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, the nervous system begins to respond differently. The emotional charge diminishes, and new patterns can take root. But awareness is the key. Without understanding these unconscious mechanisms, it's easy to remain stuck in repetitive loops. When you become aware of how your nervous system functions, you gain the power to consciously guide it. This doesn't mean controlling every response, but creating space for intentional growth and transformation. The beauty of addressing these patterns is the ripple effect it creates. Changing the way your nervous system reacts doesn't just impact your internal world, it shifts how you interact with others, pursue goals, and experience life. Relationships improve as you respond from a place of calm rather than reactivity. Career decisions align with a sense of purpose rather than fear. Everyday moments become opportunities for growth rather than sources of stress. Rewiring the nervous system isn't about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering the version of yourself that isn't bound by old patterns. The process is gradual, but with consistent awareness, you can transform how you experience the world from a place of survival to one of thriving. The Inner Foundation series offers tools and insights to help rewire these patterns by focusing on emotional awareness and intentional growth. Through guided exercises, it empowers you to create a more harmonious relationship with your inner world.